Afternoon.
How do? You're all right. Nice to see you again.
A bit wet and miserable out there today, so we're in here in the dry doing our intro and outro today.
You're saying that, and like the light that's coming through
I
that
know,
window
it's
looks
deceptive.
so it's beautiful outside. No, it's dank and dismal.
It is. It's not a very nice day.
I know. I've been in it.
Anyway, before we get into this week's video, I just want to give a bit of a shameless plug for a fundraising campaign that I'm helping with for Python the Workboat. She is owned by Chesterfield Canal Society and managed and crewed entirely by volunteers. They fundraise for her on an ongoing basis for her day-to-day costs, but unfortunately she currently needs to come out of the water by crane and have some maintenance to her bottom.
So the big requirement from you is...
Please, if you can, donate to the GoFundMe page. The link is in the description below. And we have been advertising her needs on our social medias, so please share them if you can as well to help get the message out there to everyone.
Even if it's £1.
She's 90 years old, been working tirelessly on the canals all her life, and we want to keep her going for another 90 years if we can.
So there you go, 90 of you all put £1 in and make 90 quid. Easy,
That's a good
isn't
idea.
it? £1 goes nowhere. But it's a very valuable £1.
It is, if lots of people give one, definitely.
And especially if you're boaty lovers, because ultimately this is a historic boat that deserves to be continuing to be a historic boat, not a piece of scrap.
So she helps with the collection of rubbish along the canal, cutting back with lots of vegetation, and the crew have also started taking on jobs from the Canal and River Trust that need doing to help get through the list of jobs from them as well.
And it's not just the countryside that she does it on the open urban towpath. It's actually within the towns as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because Worksop has its canal goes through, and they do plenty of work around Worksop, and other places along the bank where the roads get to too. So it isn't just out in the wilds.
So this is Python behind us in the background.
Is it?
It will be when I edit
Oh right,
it.
oh right, yes, sorry. Anyway, what have we got this week?
So we've got Stoke-on-Trent.
Well, hey, Stoke-on-Trent and Stone.
And down towards Great Haywood.
Even better. I think there was a day out to a
There
big
was.
bridge as well, wasn't
we
there?
We also had a day out to Ironbridge.
Excuse me, kettle's boiling. Back in a minute. There you go. Brewmaid. Told you I'd been out in the cold and the wet.
So, hope you enjoy the video.
In that case, I've got to change hands. Push the button, ring the bell. It's free to you, me, Tash, Python and everybody else. All them volunteers that help out. On the other side.
See you at the end. See evidence of the old industry here. This is an old pottery. We'll see the old kiln in a second. Potteries, lots of old kilns still scattered about the city. Some of them are open as museums. Just before we get to Middleport, a bit of the boatyard here. As we knew it would be very industrial here, we haven't really done industrial areas since Birmingham, have we?
The kiln.
Yeah, so that must be Middleport. Here's Middleport, so we're going to stop here, just working out exactly where we need to stop.
See rings.
Middleport and Burslem have been central to the pottery industries in Stoke since the 1700s, and were part of the original owners worked with Telford to ensure the construction of the canal because it was so important to the industry. There's a collection of historic original machinery here as well. Got the oval dish machines, a print press which initially looks like a mangle for laundry, a steam stove, a jiggerer. It's a bit of a mouthful, jiggerer. drying machine, I think it says. Batting machine.
Batting machine.
And this is a batting machine. This historic boat Dane was built in 1946 by the Mersey Weaver and Ship Canal Carrying Company, just north of the Middleport pottery on the Trent Mersey Canal, and it used to transport raw materials from Cornwall to Middleport, and then continued to carry finished burley-ware to Liverpool, where it was exported around the world. It's been restored by the Narrowboat Heritage Foundation and is used and hired out for weddings and various social events.
Burslem Port.
This is the old site of the Burslem barn that used to go up to more of the potteries.
So we've come through Stoke-on-Trent, and we're now at Erewash, as you can see from the Industrial Museum with the chimney just behind it. It's the first lock of about 6 to go down, continuing on the Trent Mersey, which is where we're planning on going. But that is the beginning of the Coventry Canal. So where we were going to do, but unfortunately we're out of luck because of closures.
Lovely piece of open countryside here below Trentham Lock, and plenty of Armco for mooring off from as well. Really nice section of the canal. All the trees are just starting to have buds on. We did see some cherry blossom a bit earlier when we were running along this section of towpath. We moved the van earlier from where were we?
Hemheath.
So we moved the van earlier from Hemheath down to Aston. And then we ran the 7 miles back along the towpath. So now we're moving the boat. Stone was a beautiful place to come through, so we're going to moor just the other side of Stone down by Aston, and then have a walk up either today or tomorrow, and have a mooch around Stone and have a look. It advertises itself on its signs as the birthplace of the Trent Mersey Canal, so I'm going to do a bit of research into that. It may be where the canal went further south, because it was built initially the top end from Stoke up to Liverpool, just passing the famous Plume of Feathers pub, which is owned by the famous Neil Morrissey, which is at Burslem by Bridge 103. All the canal cruising holiday boats here waiting to go out. Won't be many of them here in a few weeks' time once the season really starts with people out on the hire boats. This is likely to have been the toll shed for the tolls as people got halfway up the canal. It's a bit of a grey day today. We're hoping the weather's not going to be too unkind to us. Only just started our cruise for the day. We're just going past the entrance to Aston Marina. So we asked Mr. Google what was within an hour's drive of where we're currently moored at Great Haywood.
And we're not far.
And we've come to the Ironbridge. Historic gorge just outside Telford. You can just about see the bridge behind us. We will go up and get a closer shot of it.
Somewhere up here.
It's on the River Severn, which is in flood, so a lot of the footpath along it is closed at the moment. It's a beautiful day. There's lots of museums here. They all have individual charges.
There's about 9 of them.
So we're not going to do many of them, are we? It's about £60 to do the whole lot each.
But the bridge is pretty and the village is pretty. Well worth a visit.
So we'll have a wander. This was the last coracle shed in England, and the last coracle maker died in 2003, and it's been empty ever since. But further down in the other end of the village there is a coracle museum. The Toll House Museum on the end of the bridge is the free one that you can go in and learn more about the area. Hope you enjoyed that.
Did you have your brew and watch it? It was worth it, wasn't it, eh?
Ironbridge is well worth a visit if you get opportunity. Big hill to get into and out of it.
Either side. But it's well worth it.
Very
Even
pretty.
down to looking at the kilns.
Yeah, and it's a pretty village as well, isn't it?
It is.
The river was in flood when we were there, so we couldn't walk along the riverbank.
It's free to get in and out, but the museums there's a little charge too. So just be aware if you go. But the actual shops are free to go and peruse. Big words. Tell
Very
it
big
to
words.
been eating dictionaries again.
So next week's video,
Dun, dun,
dun,
dun.
dun, we went to a CRT local forum.
I thought you'd forgotten then.
So we're going to share some of the information we got from there about how they're controlling the pennywort weed on the Walsall Canal.
Water levels.
Yeah,
It was very, very interesting evening.
it was an interesting evening. So we'll share some of that with you next week. And we will have some trading updates.
Yes, we started.
Yeah, did our
Or we
first
will have
weekend.
started by then.
And all the dates of all of our trading throughout the season are in the description below. So if you want to come along and see us, then have a look at the dates and see when you can make it.
But don't forget, if you want refills, just get in touch.
Because we can do them anytime.
And if you see the boat, knock on and get it. It's the one with the 3 coffins on the roof. I don't know which one she's chosen to put me in yet, but it's there.
Have a good week. We'll see you next week.
Push the button, ring the bell, share it with your friends. It's free to everybody, but don't tell Tash.